What's up? So, I am going to try to hyper focus on this from what I've been saying for, I don't know, ever. Okay, see if I can get this right because it takes me a while to get this started. Whew. Yeah, I'm someone that's got stage fright, anxieties, so I want to get this right best that I can without deviating too far. I can stop beating around the bush and just get this on with it. Okay, so as you saw the opening, projecting sexism. So let's start from beginning to now. And I'm only going to go on with what we've learned. Well, at least what I've learned. I hope all of you have been sort of paying attention to CNN, the debates, Hillary's run as president, and things like that, because that's what I'm going to cover. Now, I would appreciate if you have comments on certain things, leave it down there, timestamp it, so I can pretty much know where to begin for what I said that you may have a disagreement against. And I would also ask that before you put down your comment, to think about what you heard first. First, always think about what you said, what I said, think about what you want to say, and then get on with it, all right? Not just talking to you, I'm talking to myself as well. I'm human. We all make mistakes, and if we don't, then who are you? Because I want to know you. I want to learn from you if you never make mistakes. So, initially, Elizabeth, you know what? I'm going to troll. I'm going to say her name as properly as possible for this first few times. Elizabeth Warren. Elizabeth Warren. She wanted to just chill in the Senate and pretty much do nothing. But when Obama's time was up, and they were saying, "Hey, who's going to be the Democratic, front runner now?" Elizabeth, without doing anything, without saying anything, had an immediate following. Part of that following was because people were still kind of pissed off at Hillary. When Hillary lost the nomination to Barack Obama, she had some disparaging things to say. People in Wisconsin, Ohio, South Carolina, Nevada definitely wasn't happy about her insults. So, I'll just say one of them was Wisconsin. She says, "I don't care about what those cheese-eating fools have to say anyway." She was upset. Vindictive, the Virgo bee. So, people really railed around Elizabeth Warren. It's crazy because it started from late December until roughly, I think it was mid-February. People were just saying, "Run, Elizabeth, run." Now, hindsight is 2020. But I already saw the stuff happening as it unfolded. But there's something that was added recently, and that was during the Democratic debate just a few days ago. Bernie Sanders was the one that initially wanted Elizabeth Warren to run for president. Bernie Sanders wanted a female to run for president against anything else. He didn't care. Just get in there, Elizabeth. Run. Become president. Basically is what he was doing. He wasn't going to run. Didn't want to. Didn't care. He felt she was the best. Hillary Clinton got into Warren's ear. Warren took a step back, and then Hillary stepped forward. And then Hillary's dirt came out. What Hillary doesn't understand is that when you're on the Democratic side, no matter how Republican you are, when you're a Democrat, they have to vet everything you say and do. So if you've done it, it's going to come out, no matter how much you trust someone. Ask Anthony Weiner about that. So what you do, what you say, we're going to know. And that's why you have memes of Hillary with a all the signs on her, the oil and gas and big companies, banks and oil, all that stuff was all over her. Means like, like she was a NASCAR, driver or something. Now, Sanders wanted Warren to run. Hillary said, no, give it to me. Warren says, fine. Hillary takes it. Find out all this crap about Hillary, while at the same time, while there was Larry Lessig, Bernie Sanders, and a few others running in the Democratic primary, Hillary, who was paying the DNC, bankrolling it basically, they sided with her. No matter what, they sided with her. Even while Bernie was running, there were inconsistencies, things that he didn't like, advantages that he had that he fired people over. He removed people for, and let the Hillary campaign know, this is what we found out, this is where it was, this is how you got to stop it. We're not going to use this material. We're going to do this on the up and up. And for doing the right thing, the DNC punished Bernie Sanders for it. They locked him out of things, made sure he couldn't use certain campaign finances and certain things like that. They put sanctions on him. Larry Lessig wasn't allowed on the stage. Bernie Sanders wasn't initially allowed on the stage. Ultimately, he got up there, but the problem is Trump was already running the populist campaign. So anything that Bernie or anyone else said, Trump would just either already saying it or piggybacking off of it. And the way things go is you get a Democrat in office and then people forget, then they all of a sudden want a Republican. People get angry, so they go to a Democrat, and then they forget, they rest on their laurels, and the Republican come in, they get mad, and it's just a cycle over and over and over. That's what happens. So, after you find out Bernie Sanders got screwed over by everything Hillary Clinton, sad to say, what did happen? It came down to Bernie and Hillary won. Bernie kind of still had a slim chance of pulling it out, but he didn't. So he let go, he stopped his campaign, and started backing Hillary. Bernie campaigned for Hillary. He had he stopped in 39 places in 13 states or something like that. He campaigned his ass off for Hillary. So he pushed Warren to run. Warren gave it up to Hillary. Hillary had the money and the support of the DNC, which wasn't so DNC. And she won, so Bernie said, I will support you. And he said it. I am not going to tell anyone that was supporting me to go support you. You got to earn their vote. And even to push the voters to Hillary, Bernie said, don't vote for me, because if you do, I won't even accept it. He did everything he could to make the voters go for Hillary. Because of Bernie, she got the popular vote by 3 million or slightly over 3 million. And with that, the democratically created, Electoral College said, yeah, you won the popular vote in every single state. We're going to vote for Trump. Hoisted by your own petard. That's a perfect example. So, Trump wins, he's in, and the whole time Trump is in, he blames Hillary. He blames Hillary, saying she got the popular vote, but I don't think so. She lies. She lies. Hillary blames Bernie. Just think about that. Hillary blames Bernie after Bernie she robbed Bernie of the true stage. She burned Bernie by not letting him, in the first couple of debates. Bernie goes to bat for her, makes sure that no one can vote for him, so they have no choice but to vote for her or no one at all. And then she burns him, saying, it's your fault that no one voted for me. and called him sexist. Just think about that. Let's skip time. Bernie and Elizabeth are friends. They're friends. They talked about how much they would talk on the phone. They got each other's number, don't they? They say they do. You know, when Elizabeth Warren can say that I called my friend Bernie, that means she's got his number, not unless it's just lying for the camera. So they obviously, they talk, they chill, they do their thing. And out of this, there's a leak saying Bernie was talking to Elizabeth Warren and said that a woman cannot win the presidency. Okay. So not one person thought, well, that's a lie. No. They simply went to, he said it, he's sexist. Why? Reasons. I'm not going to think. I'm not going to contemplate. I'm not going to ponder. I'm not going to wonder. He just said it, so he did it, so he's guilty. He's sexist, and it's the way we always thought of him. So far, Bernie Sanders had to fight off people hating him because he's a Jew. He had to fight off people hating him because he's white. Then he's a white Jew. Then he sells one book, gains a few million. Now he's a rich white Jew, and they're hating him because he's got money. He releases all of his taxes, doesn't hide anything, pays every cent, and they still hate him. And then Bernie defended Hillary the whole campaign, still defending Hillary, still protecting Warren, and they're hating him. Bernie got some issues, but it's never where anyone puts them. That's the problem. You're going to hate somebody, make sure you're doing it for the right reasons, so you don't look like the hater yourself. So Bernie has to fight through all of this. And when it's not enough, they say he's sexist. So when they pull this up, they ask Warren how she felt about it. She said she felt disappointed. Elizabeth Warren knows the conversation that she and Bernie has had. She remembers them. When this got leaked, she could have said something immediate. She could have tweeted. That's a lie. That didn't happen. She could have called Bernie, hey, what's going on? Bernie could have called her, hey, what's going on? Why is this happening? But that didn't happen. Bernie probably thought she'll do the right thing. Because if Bernie comes out and say, hey, that's lies, then he's going to look guilty. Honestly, if Bernie said, yeah, I said it, then he's guilty. If he says, I didn't say it, then he's guilty. So he can't do anything. So Bernie has to just shut up. Elizabeth Warren could have said something. She let that mess ride. She let everyone get up in a storm. She let all this happen, calling them sexist and everything. The Bernie bro topic come back up. And then after 24 hours, she releases some half-baked statement that doesn't really confirm or deny much of anything. She lets people form their own beliefs. I'm upset about that. You don't let people form their own beliefs. You tell them what's up, you tell them the truth. And they want to form their stupidity after that, that's on them. But when you allow them, when you let them, when you give them permission to think the wrong things, that's on you. That's on you. Anyone who's done that. Warren or anyone in her campaign or council or whatever the hell it is. So, even after that, it comes to the debates. And on stage, as we all heard from every single media outsource, CNN, hold up, CNN, they did it. They did it. I'll probably have to make a separate video on that one because I'm just shooting straight for these. So when they asked Bernie, I'm saying they, I know who it was. And pretty much, I'll be honest with you, she was the sacrificial lamb. But I'm hoping to keep the racism at bay. I'm hoping this is a CNN thing, not a racial thing right now. Because I know what they did. And that was messed up. But I'm going to keep it just to CNN only. It's just all of them. CNN asked, basically, almost, how often do you beat your wife? So, did you say those disparaging things to Senator Warren? And he says no. Factually no. He explains no. Explains no and why. Warren, she looked annoyed. Now, I didn't see the debate. I just kept seeing the multitudes of little clips. But I know that face of, man, how do I get out of this? So they say at the end of Bernie, what he says is, no, I deny it because it didn't happen. And they say, so you're saying that this did not happen? That's correct. I'm saying it didn't happen. Well, let's look at you, Elizabeth. So how did you feel when he said those things to you? And that's why that was trending. CNN is trash. The audience uproared with a bit of kind of hysteric laughter a bit. Bernie had to do the classic, I don't care who you are, you're a human being, you've done it when somebody says something that's outright egregious and you just can't believe it. Like, this is happening right here in front of my face. And that's what Bernie, that's where he was. He was just like, oh man, he had to laugh about it. He was like, that's crazy. That just happened. Now, Warren, she had her chance. She could have just said, that was wrong and distasteful. That was disrespectful. Senator Sanders never said anything like that. That never came out of his mouth. But no, she doubled down. And then, from what I understand, they kind of kept going back to it here and there. As well as talk about, will you go to war? How do you feel about war and all this with it on? So when the show was over, I can't call it a debate, got to call it a show. When the show was over, Sanders and Warren, they had a little thing together. And Cenk and Kasparian say that Sanders, well, Cenk says that he looked defensive. And he probably did. I can tell you right now, Sanders is that type of person that just don't want to hurt somebody. Not willfully. This is just not him. Warren was angry. She was upset. And let me explain something to you. When you let the accusations ride and you think you can ride that to victory, and then someone that has a record of being honest, even to a fault, comes out and says, no, that didn't happen, you have to realize you now look like a liar. And that's what she was angry about. She got called out right there in front of everybody, and there was nothing she could do about it. All she could do is what any Republican would do. Double down, use scapegoats, talk around it, and try to move on to something else while letting that subtly stay in the air just enough. She lost. She lost that one. And during that time, while CNN was losing more credibility than they ever have. Bernie was gaining donations because not only just sympathy, but people that didn't know if they want to donate to Warren or Sanders made up their mind. Those who would donate to Warren donated to Sanders. And rightfully so. No, not rightfully. Justly so. It was justifiable. Bernie Sanders has 4 to 5 decades now repeating the same thing, being the same way, speaking truth to power, holding power accountable. And no matter how many people call him socialist, communist, which my ad is cognitive dissonance if you knew what either was, no matter what he goes through, he speaks the truth. And I've said it before. And I'm going to say it with something else this time. I'll trust a man that'll chain himself to a black woman to a tree and say, well, handcuff himself to a black woman and say, you arrest her, you arrest me too. During the civil rights era. I trust that guy. I do. And he's going to come across and say the wrong things, probably at the wrong times. And I will always come across saying the wrong thing at the wrong time, so I will not complain about that. But when he talks about the discrimination, when he talks about job inequality, and he will pull out the numbers that lie on African Americans. And he will correct them. When he talks about poor black people and how to help get them out of poverty and put money into them so they can be a better part of this financial society, I can trust somebody like that. Now, I only trust people at 95%. That's maximum. I'm not going to trust somebody that's going to coattail somebody else's ideas, take their ideas, and then later say, I don't think I'm going to do that. You're not going to coattail Medicare for all and then say, nope, I'd rather have a public option after talking to Hillary. Bernie he worked his tail off for Hillary. She called him sexist. He defended Warren, wanted her to run for president. If someone thought you couldn't run, if someone thought you could not win to be president, they wouldn't have told you to run it ahead of them. They would have just been quiet and ran themselves. But he told Warren to run for president. Hillary said, no, Warren, don't do it. Let me. And Bernie, you're sexist. Just think about that. Bernie defended Hillary on her emails, defended Hillary as a person, as a candidate, and he's sexist. Bernie befriends Elizabeth Warren, defends Warren, helps Warren, even at points slightly coaches Warren, and Warren allows them to smear him wrongfully. And then doubles down on it because she let the storm build. And then going to get mad when he didn't just go along with it. I don't trust that person. I won't trust that person. It's not happening. Like I said before, a female president, yes. I want the right female to be president, not just any female, and not someone just because they're popular. I don't need a celebrity in office. I need a person in office. Someone that understands what's going on and wants to fix it. Not their pockets, not their legacy, not their pride, their ego. No. I don't need someone trying to unite the party. I need somebody that's going to head a progressive party, forward-thinking people, even to their own detriment, do the right thing. Those are the people I trust. Bernie's going to get a lot of things wrong, but he's not going to lie on anybody. He's going to do a lot of wrong things, but he's not going to assassinate someone. He's not going to sit here and turn everything against his opponent just because it's easy. That's why I can vote for him. That's why I will vote for him. And this time, if he doesn't get the nomination, honestly, I just might have to write his name in. I just have to try to force it. Up in the air right now about that one. But this whole thing, I want everybody to understand something. It's not about if the man or the woman or the transgender or the LGBTQ plus or the African American or any other minority becomes president. It's not about that. It's about who is a person. Not a robot, not a cog in the wealthy machine. You need somebody honest. Bernie Sanders isn't the bar. Not like you think. Bernie Sanders should be the lowest level of what we want in a president. We need more of him out there. More of him. That's what we need. And it could be the person right now on the other side listening to me right now that's another Bernie Sanders. Matter of fact, a better Bernie Sanders. Bottom barrel least, be Bernie-like. At most, have that unyielding conviction to get it done. Your president, whomever in the future may see this, if you're going to be president, it ain't about making friends. It ain't about appeasing one party or another. It's about what's doing right for the people, by the people. No one else. The needs of the many outweigh the needs of the few. It is that simple. This is Central Kennedy for Comparative Reasoning. Thank you for listening.